Hello BookTube. For the second video, I'm going to be doing this triple tag Tuesday. I'm going to be doing the Midyear Freakout Tag. This tag makes the rounds of BookTube every June and July, so I'm just going to leave the questions down below. Question number 1. Best book you've read so far in 2021? That would be The 100 Years War on Palestine by Rashid Khalidi. It's a history of the past century of occupation inflicted on Palestine and the continual struggle on the Palestinians to self-determine for state self-determination and that. It is an amazing book. Question number 2. Best sequel you've read so far in 2021? I haven't read any sequels in 2021. The closest you could argue would be the second, third, and fourth parts of The Legend of the Condor Heroes novel. But I'm considering The Legend of the Condor Heroes to be one big novel. So there aren't any sequels. And I hold that contention true for continuing series like comic book series, manga series. Since they are parts of a continuing whole, they really don't have sequels. Unless there's like, say, Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest for Fairy Tale. That would be the sequel, but otherwise, Fairy Tale Volume 2 is not the sequel to Fairy Tale. That's just a continuation of Fairy Tale. Hope you see my point. Question number 3. New release you haven't read yet but want to. The Enlightenment by Robbie Richardson. It's a big history of the Enlightenment that came out in February that I picked up a few months ago, and I'm really looking forward to getting to it. Also, How the Word is Passed by Clint Smith, which just came out a few days ago or weeks ago, and is about the after effects of slavery. And I'm hoping to get to How the Word is Passed this weekend or next week. Question number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. The Queen by Matthew Dennison. It is a new biography of Elizabeth II that comes out in September. Although I have a lot of books I'm looking forward to coming up in the fall. All history though. Question number 5. Biggest disappointment. That would be Burnt Sugar by Avni Doshi. I had high hopes for the book, even though I am doing terribly with fiction, particularly general fiction and literary fiction, but I'd heard a lot of great things about Burnt Sugar on BookTube, and I didn't like it at all, either time I tried it. Question number 6. Biggest surprise, that would be The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I usually don't do very well with N.K. Jemison's novels. I've tried the first book in all of her previous series, and I've either bailed or really didn't like the book. But The City We Became, I don't know what to make of it. It's a contemporary epic fantasy in which cities have an avatar, or certain cities, once they reach a certain critical mass, which is how exactly that critical mass is reached is up in the air, kind of manifests as an avatar, and an unseen entity that's inspired by H.P. Lovecraft tries to destroy these new nascent cities. And in The City We Became, New York it doesn't quite win and ends up manifesting not only New York itself, but also the boroughs of New York. And it's an interesting, fun read, but also I'm not entirely sure how about it, though. So, but I mean, for the most part, I enjoyed it. It's weird. Okay, let's continue on, and then I'll have a question at the end. So, question number 7: favorite new author, a debut or new to you? For this, I'm going to go with Brenda Wineapple and Anne Applebaum. I read Ecstatic Nation by Wineapple and Iron Curtain by Applebaum, and love them both. And I'm looking forward to reading more works by both women. Question number 8: newest fictional crush. I really don't have any. I haven't really gotten on with any fiction, so I don't really think there's much in the way of a new fictional crush. Same is true for question number 9, newest favorite character. Not really having one. Question number 10, book that made you cry. That would be 100 Years War on Palestine by Rashid. Khalidi. It's just that book did a number on me. Question number 11, book that made you happy. Sunny Days by David Camp. It's a history of the children's educational television revolution from the late 60s and early 70s, primarily focused on Sesame Street, but also including Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, The Electric Company, Zoom, and a few educational television shows that appeared on commercial broadcasting. It is such an amazing book. So light and cheerful, and it's just, I loved every minute with that book. 12, or question number 12. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received? I'm going to go with The History of Bhutan by Karma Funsho. That book is gorgeous looking. Question number 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I really don't need to read any books by the end of the year. I mean, there's no set like TBR or anything like that. I can read whatever I want. So I want to try to get a lot of the books I've hauled this year read. A lot of the books I haven't gotten to from last year's book hauls read, and just continue on as I have. But I've also found if I'm specific in what I want to pick up, if I'm like, I'm going to read this book and that book, I'm more than likely not going to enjoy those books. There needs to be a bit of chaos in, I think, the selection of the books I read at any given time. So that was the Midyear Freakout Tag. If you haven't done this tag yet, please do so. And let me know if there have been any issues with this video, because the recording alert thing, it's like it's red and then it goes to black. And I don't know if it's just something the camera's doing or if there's a problem. So if there's a problem, please let me know, and I will remember to ask this question in the thing. So anyway, sorry about that. So I will be back in a few with the book shopping tag. So until then, BookTubes, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.